Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Monument. Arrival plans a 30% reduction in expenses. Arrival sees this as the right step into the long-term future. Now, essentially, Arrival is warning that it could lay off up to 800 staff to fund the van production. Now, this news is coming right off to the back of Arrival having their certification, their EU certification for the van. And since then, it's been announced that Arrival will be starting production on those vans later this year, so that's been quite exciting. But this news I didn't expect. Now, Arrival actually said this on Tuesday that it will provide a business recognition in response to the challenging economy environment ahead of starting production of its van later this quarter. Arrival added the details about the business strategy updates that will provide it during the second quarter earning calls on August 11th. Now, the realignment of the strategy would enable Arrival to deliver business priorities until 2023, primarily utilizing the $500 million cash they have on hand, but also a target of 30% reduction in spending across the company, which could impact up to 30% of its employees globally. Now, the company also reiterated there's a huge amount of interest in the products, believing that its proposals are the right step at the time to ensure that the long-term success of the business. Arrival also mentioned supply chain issues and ongoing pandemic, geographic tensions, and rising inflation as the main cause for this business reorganization. And indeed, inflation has hit 9.1% in the United States, and that's the highest it's ever been. So it's not just the United States, the UK, Europe are also in a struggling economy as well. And for now, Arrival is mainly prioritizing Europe, like England and Americas, to be quite honest. Rivian announced quite recently that they intend to cut up to 700 or 800 jobs. And they're an American company and they're seeing huge inflation levels. So it's not about just inflations, but it's also about cutting costs and making sure that these companies can make it through production. Now, it said Arrival is the electric van company that's championed by Boris Johnson, and they're looking to cut up to 800 jobs. And of course, if everyone's been keeping up with the recent UK news, Boris Johnson will be relieved of his duties. He will no longer be the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. He will be replaced. We don't know by whom, but it's certainly a challenging time for a lot of countries and economies when so many things are happening at the same time. Now, let's not forget that Arrival actually achieved $13 billion last year in valuation in a stock market float in New York. So they're looking to cut the workers' force and cost by up to 30%. This will just help them to preserve enough cash to make it through production, because unlike Rivian, unlike Polestar, Arrival isn't manufacturing any road vehicles as of yet. I believe right now they've just been working on the prototypes. They've gotten the European certification for the buses earlier this year, and lately they've received the certification for their vans. That's 2 vehicles that they can now manufacture and put on the roads and sell to companies. So this is good, but in order for them to make it through these difficult times, they need to cut costs, and cutting jobs is one of the best ways for them to cut costs. Now, the company has around 2,700 staffs around the world, meaning that about 810 jobs could be at risk. Now, allow me to remind you that they were founded in 2015, and Arrival was included as one of Boris Johnson's Green Dozen Sustainable British Companies last year. Now, there's other things that are affecting the market as well. Rising energy and wages bills are amongst the challenges facing electric vehicle makers, particularly those new to the market. Yes, those new to the market are struggling the most because they're not used to this kind of uncomfortable, uneasy times in our history. You know, Tesla's been in the space for a while now. Tesla's gotten used to it. Tesla's gotten so used to it that even when there's a chip shortage, Tesla can just reprogram their software to work with other chips that are more popular, that are less in demand and more in supply. But for companies like Arrival, it's going to take them a while to figure these things out. Arrival has deals with UPS, but so far they have not made any commercial vehicles. Thankfully, they will be starting at the later parts in this year, and that's what we're looking forward to. But it looks like a lot of companies will be looking to cut jobs just to keep down costs in times like this, until they can figure things out, until they can rehire in a bit more strategic way. Now, the Arrival shares are still down $1.44 is still incredibly low. In the last month, the highest it's been is $1.79. Market cap is below 1 billion right now. It's 919 million in market cap. That's extremely low, but especially for Arrival. But I expect this to all change. I expect by the end of next year, Arrival could be around 2 to 3 or even 4 billion in market cap, at least 2 to 3 billion in market cap. The stock price will also be rising slowly with the start of production as well. So that's the news for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, it's not financial advice, just for educational purposes. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.